Hi there, Tom here. Hope you're well. Back again, another little insight into the world of sales and marketing. And I'm in the kitchen again, which is helpful because this week I'm going to talk about wine. You see, because this little bottle of wine here, along with quite a few others, is something that I picked up in Como this summer when me and Becca and her family did some wine tasting. And now this is a wine tasting that I've done before. Me and Becca went a couple of years ago to Como. We went back and decided it was so good, we're going to do it again. And there's some really kind of key learns from the way that these guys do it that is different from other wine tastings that I've been on before, which I think helps them sell quite a considerable amount of wine. So let's start with the typical kind of way that you do a wine tasting. Wine tastings are all kind of built by, you look, come along, try the wine if you like it, you know, that try before you buy thing. You're not buying it blind. They'll talk you through how the wine's constructed, how it should taste, why you should like it. And then people kind of go on, oh, I like that, I will buy some wine. And that is kind of your typical way of selling wine on a wine tasting. And that works exactly the same here. You know, you go along and you try all the wines. But I think there's two things that they do really well here that help them sell more wine. And at quite an expensive price as well. It's not a particularly cheap bottle of wine. So the second thing there, obviously, other than the tasting, is the experience that these guys create. So rather than just kind of getting shipped in on a bus, you spend kind of 15 minutes trying the wine, and then you decide which ones you'd like to buy. Because they do a rosé, a white, and a red. What they do here in Damaso is it's basically an evening meal. So you get invited up to the vineyard, you sit down, you would have like a starter course, then you have a nice risotto, and then you have a steak course and a dessert with some coffee at the end. And with each course, you get served one of their wines. So you started, the rosé will come, then the white wine comes with the risotto course, and the steak you try the red. So what they're doing here is creating a much more enjoyable experience. The wine kind of flows as you will. It's not like you just get a little taster. There is more than more wine than you would care to enjoy. It just kind of keeps coming and you enjoy. And what they're doing there is, obviously there is an experience there, but I also think they're creating an obligation. You're trying the wine, you're enjoying the wine, you're thinking these guys have really looked after me and gone above and beyond to give us a great evening, that I'm actually going to go along and buy some wine. So that makes it very, very different to other wine experiences that I've done before. And the third thing, and this is the one that the lady that hosts the evening, I think she delivers really, really well, because they bring the red wine at the very, very end. And then the one thing that I think really she drops in right at the very end is apparently this is the, well, apparently I believe it is, this is the red wine that was served at George Clooney's wedding. Now, George Clooney got married on Como and apparently wanted a local wine, and he chose this one to be served at his wedding. And the way that that is delivered at the end, all the people that are sat there around that wine tasting are like, ooh, this is a good story to go back and tell my friends about. People buy the red wine as gifts. People buy more and more of it because they see it as an endorsement with a celebrity, even though that it's not technically endorsed. It is the power of celebrity to get people to buy things. You think about all the other things that have sold really well because of celebrities. Obviously, George Foreman's grill is the big one, but you know, influencers all over the place. I don't need to tell you the importance of a celebrity in there. So that what we've got here is a wine tasting that does three things really, really well. They definitely do the tasting side of it, which works really, really well. They create an experience that is not normal in most vineyards, so you create that obligation for people to buy. And then the kind of the real kicker at the end is that they let you know that this is, you know, approved by one of the biggest names in the world, and you think to yourself, I'm not going to make a bad decision by this. And you could see at the end that they sell a hell of a lot more of the red than they do of all the other wines, but they do sell a lot of wine. I mean, me and Beck's dad, I think we spent a good €300-400 with there bringing wine back for gifts and things, because it's a nice thing to give to people when you've got a story to tell around. So that's my little insight for you this week. Think about, you know, could you use any of those three strategies in your business to sell more stuff? Could you do a try before you buy thing? Could you make things more experience based? And could you splash or sprinkle a little bit of celebrity in what you do? And that's my thoughts this week. Speak to you again soon. Ta-da.